Okay, guys, listen, as far as the Coppa stuff we've been talking about here and how it relates to all of us as YouTubers, there is, and you guys brought it up in the comment section of the video I made yesterday regarding Coppa, there is an aspect, an element of this that I didn't really address very well that's very important. And that is simply that YouTube is acting on their own to a certain degree to a large degree, in using an AI, a bot, an algorithm to try and check for what content would fit into the category of for children only. And that's cause for concern for a lot of people, as well it should be. Absolutely. You guys are 100% right to be concerned about that. I'm going to address that though in just a minute. I also want to talk about, it's become apparent to me with this, and especially thinking back to the apocalypse, how desperately we need a central rallying point for YouTubers. We should, man, as YouTubers, with the amount of social media presence we have, with the amount of, for lack of a better term, clout we can have, and let's face it, this whole world turns on clout as it stands right now, the way information is exchanged. We should be the driving force behind conversations. We have certainly easily enough power to get the decision makers, the politicians who want to shine for the electorate on our sides to take care of these things. If we had that central point of information that everyone at YouTube can rally around for a common goal, we could have changed, I believe, the whole progression of that whole adpocalypse thing. I'll get back to more of that, but that's something we need to do. So if you got a few minutes, stay with this video. I want to talk to you guys about that as well. Now, as far as YouTube using their algorithm to designate certain channels as geared towards 12 and under, and that being erroneous, could that happen? Oh, absolutely, that could happen. We know. I'll give this. In fairness to YouTube, there's no way to make an AI that's going to be infallible with designating, what is strictly for kids. Now, that said, what you have to remember is, if it doesn't matter who does it, it doesn't matter how YouTube comes to that conclusion. If they designate your channel as directed at children and it is not, you have alternatives. This is much bigger than the age-old fight of fair use. That goes on in a lot of different areas, has been for some time. And it's bigger in a certain respect than the copyright issues, because even within YouTube, there are direct, specific paths you can take if you've been wronged in someone abusing your copyright or falsely accusing you of abusing theirs. Because what happens here is, if they designate your channel incorrectly, they are taking away. It doesn't matter how much it doesn't matter if you make $5 a month on YouTube, or if you're PewDiePie and you're making millions a month on YouTube, or $1 million a month on YouTube, or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. If YouTube is presenting this platform as an opportunity for you to share in ad revenue, which they are, if they're allowing you to share in that ad revenue, you've jumped through all the hurdles, which you have been, and they take that away based on incorrect, false information, you can sue them. And the thing of it is, I know what you're saying. Well, who can afford lawyers? You don't necessarily have to have lawyers. That's why we have attorney general's offices in whatever state you're in, locally, at any level. This is where this is where the government is supposed to work for us. If you can make a strong enough case for it, you don't need an attorney. However, if we had, excuse me, get too worked up. If we had this consortium, if we had this central point where other YouTubers could come in and see what's going on within the community and make a call as to whether or not they want to rally behind that, it wouldn't happen, because YouTube is aware of what is legal, what is not legal. It's just they're owned by Google. They feel like they can push people around to a certain degree. All big companies are like that. You have to have pushback. But to take this a step further, and this is very important, I fully believe, with good faith, when YouTube institutes this machine learning that's going to designate a channel as for children only, there's got to be a review process where an individual reviews it. It's the same thing as when a video is demonetized, it actually gets reviewed by a person. Is it at a perfect system? No. Is it working? Yes. It sucks because my channel is a good example. Rarely do we get demonetized just because the machine learning, the algorithm has learned that we don't post content that is going to need to be demonetized. Does it happen? Yes. It happened just the other day. I just posted a video, one of the clip reactions, the short clip reactions videos got demonetized. I file an appeal. A real person comes in, takes a look at it, and says, oh, okay, the machine learning, the AI screwed up. Now you get your monetization back. Does it mean that that video didn't get shipped for monetization when it first went up? Of course it does. And that screws a lot of YouTubers, much more so than it gets me. Mine don't get the views that many others do. So that part sucks. But in the end, it's all taken care of. I have a very strong suspicion you're going to see the exact same thing with this, simply because YouTube doesn't have an alternative. They know if they don't have that they don't have that system where a real person comes in and reviews what the machine learning has deduced. If they don't do that, it's only a matter of time. There will be a class action lawsuit. There's no two ways about it. I mean, you might have to wait a little while, but it's going to happen to enough people that there will be a class action lawsuit and they would clearly lose it, and they're not dumb enough to not be aware of that. So that's likely what's going to happen. They will go in and back up the algorithm with an individual, an actual person reviewing what was found. What would probably happen, again, I'm going on assumption here, when they find your channel or your video as being designated for children, it would probably get the monetization taken away. It would get taken out of the search results, so on and so forth, and reinstated once it was found that the machine learning was in error. That's what I believe is going to happen. I could absolutely be wrong. You guys are 100% right on. It's completely understandable that you're concerned because YouTube is going to use an algorithm again that has not worked well in the past. It doesn't work well. It's not a good system. In fairness to YouTube, it's an impossible situation that they're up against when it comes to, I mean, we have to look at things from every perspective. Just like demonetization. They demonetized that last video of mine. It's absolutely absurd. There's nothing questionable about anything in it. And of course it was overturned. And it's frustrating. But whatever reason, it triggered their little AI. Now, again, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And that's why I don't think you have to worry about YouTube algorithm coming in, designating your channel as for children only, taking those actions. They're done, because that won't fly. If that's the case, it's going to happen to too many people. The class action lawsuit would absolutely 100% unequivocally take place. So I don't think you really have to worry about that in the large sense. It's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be an inconvenience. It could happen to me. I mean, I could get hit by the AI as well. It could happen to any of us. It's going to be an inconvenience. It's not going to be a deal killer. It's not, you guys don't stress out about it. If you genuinely are not making content geared towards kids, don't worry about it. This is going to work itself out. There will be bumps. There will be burps. There always are. It will work it out. I'm just trying to tell you, this is my honest opinion, and I would bet money on it. You have to understand from the larger sense how all this works. Risk reward for companies like YouTube. They're not looking to get a class action suit filed against them. Further, the FTC is not looking by any stretch to try and come get YouTubers. They have no interest in that. Remember, the FTC is a federal commission that's made up of people just like the rest of us. They're just working stiffs, just people doing their jobs. They're not looking to get you. They don't want to get you. They just want to go in and do their work every day. And when there's something egregious going on and somebody is making content that's directed specifically at 8-year-olds and then is ticking the box saying no because, it's not designated to kids because I still want my ads, that's who they're going to go after. And even then, they're not going to go after them themselves. It's going to be if that person gets reported by some group or group of individuals. That's what's going to happen. As far as the AI, does that make it more of a pain in the ass? Absolutely. Is it going to get your channel destroyed undeservedly? No. Trust me, they will put something in place for that because they're going to need to. That will happen. Now, what I had talked about earlier, when I get back from vacation, we're leaving tomorrow. When I get back from vacation, I don't think I have, I mean, our YouTube channel is not really that big. My social media outreach is not that big. I don't think I have the leverage to put this together, but I will try. We need this central point that I've told you about, central point of information, not a union, a central point of information where all YouTubers and anybody with any type of social media clout can come in when there is an issue. Let's take the apocalypse, where somebody makes a video explaining exactly what's gone on, exactly why it's taking place, and what the best way to get things working back in the favor of the YouTubers and the social media influencers, whoever, whatever that case may be, the best avenues to take. And then everybody can come in, all these influencers, all these YouTubers can come in, watch the video. If you agree with the sentiment, within the video will be, a request to start running with XYZ hashtag, make a video about the issue. We can do it with Coppa as well. There is a way that we could leverage, that's what this game is all about, where we could leverage public opinion enough to put pressure on politicians and companies. Let me tell you something. If this actually took off, if you had big YouTubers in large numbers willing to participate, to just take each one of these topics one at a time and say, yeah, that's something I agree with. I'll help out. I'll lend my social media presence to that. If they actually did that, we could be, and I mean this sincerely, we could have the most leverage as a voting bloc, as a pressure system for companies and politicians in this nation without spending a dime, because we can, with any type of number of YouTubers willing to get on board for something that we're fighting for as a group that's affecting us as YouTubers, you're talking tens of millions of people are affected. You guys know how many, with large YouTubers, how many people they get to with their videos, and further, how many people they get to with their Twitter, their Instagram, so on and so forth. We should be the ones in control. We shouldn't always be the ones taking the ass beating, because we have the numbers. And if we use those numbers appropriately, trust me, there's nothing politicians love more than avenging for the little guy. And there's nothing politicians love more than getting their names splattered all over social media. You don't think there's not a congressperson out there who wants to be the one who comes in? And when we've had a hashtag out there to 50 million people that, let's say Coppa has, YouTube has used the Coppa regulations to destroy people's livelihoods, little guys' livelihoods. This little guy who's just sitting there trying to make a few extra bucks, making content that people enjoy from the comfort of his own home, and YouTube designated him as doing something appealing to children when he didn't. You don't think that once that hashtag is out there, every member of Congress wants to be the one who then gets later mentioned alongside that hashtag as being the one who stood up and took care of business on our behalf? We should have that power. When I get back from vacation, I'll lay it all out in clear, concise terms. I'll tell you how we could go about it. Do I think it'll take off? No, I don't think I have enough of a following to get the traction to get people to do it. But we can give it a try. There's no reason that we should be getting the short end of the stick all the time. We have the numbers. We can create the public opinion. We can create the backlash that this needs to stop. Things like the apocalypse. The apocalypse is the primo one. That was so, I won't go into all the details of why that was so ridiculous that even took place. But with a strong consortium, with strong numbers of YouTubers united, that would have never gotten the traction that it did. Never. Because it could have been nipped in the bud easily. These same advertisers that jumped off of YouTube over that ridiculous article in the Wall Street Journal that all went flying away, all those advertisers, had those advertisers been targeted by us as YouTubers as being cowards and as having a negative effect on the livelihoods of so many people, having a negative effect on the content that the viewer likes to see, had we been able to fight back in big numbers, it would have never taken hold. So we got to do something, guys. I don't know. Again, I don't think I have a big enough platform to do it. It would be up to us to try and get the word out. But when I get back from vacation, we'll give it a try. In the meantime, Coppa, If you're not making videos for young kids, don't worry about it.